Okay, I'm just here to do a little bit of an update on the whole Ken Penders deal and him suing Archie Comics and TNA and basically trying to get copyright rights for the characters and the writings and stuff that he did. Basically, reading more into it, and again, just in case I'm a little off or something like that with the information, you can see for yourself. Go to all the Sonic the Hedgehog related message boards and sites. You'll be able to get the information there. Like Ken Penders message board. Go to Sega.com message board in the cartoons comic sections. The Mobius forum, SaturdayMorningSonic.com/forums. Fans United for Saturday AM forums. Places like that. And basically, what I'm going to say here on this update is what they say here. Because I read this on some other sites. I can't think of these other sites. I think one of them is TSSZ or something like that. TSNZ, one of those sites. And another comic site that they link to from there. But basically, according to some of these articles, Ken Penders basically, from what I read, I could be wrong. Again, check these out for yourself. But basically, the thing is, Ken Penders wants Archie Comics to cease and desist with the publishing of the Sonic Archives and Sonic Select books and whatnot, including the planning re-release of the Knuckles comics, from what we have heard, because most of those are his story, or the stories that he wrote, and he doesn't want Archie Comics to publish them without his permission, which obviously they've been doing with all the Sonic Archives volumes that they've been releasing. So that's apparently what Ken is wanting. He wants cease and desist. He wants all rights basically on his stories, maybe some of his characters. One character we found out that he does probably have sole copyright to is Hershey, who is based on his son's cat, I guess. So that apparently is the only character he has. But then again, there's an argument there that even though it's probably based on his son's cat or something like that, what real copyright does he have of her besides just the name? Just because she wrote her and everything in a different story, what right does he have besides the name? What can he do? See, that's the question a lot of people have. And to me, I think she kind of falls in the same category that Ninjara fell into when Ninjara was part of the Ninja Turtles comic from issues 29 to 70. See, when the Turtles, when the Archie's deal with Mirage Studios and Kevin Eastman and Peter Lard and all those people came to an end, basically when Archie Comics' deal with the Ninja Turtle franchise came to an end, Ninjara, I guess, became a free character. The two people that created her finally got the freedom to publish her in another comic book, which was Furlong. So my guess is Hershey's character falls in that same category, perhaps. Maybe she's at the point to maybe she's the only character that Ken can write stories about without having to worry about a lawsuit blowing up in his face. But from what I've read also, it sounds like, again, I could be wrong about this, you can check this out for yourself, but it sounds like from what I read, Ken doesn't really want to take the characters away, the ones that fans have embraced and loved. He just wants, apparently Archie Comics to cease and desist on the publishing or republishing of the stories that he wrote on the books, courtesy of the Sonic Archives that everybody's been buying, the Sonic Archives and Selects. So that's all he apparently wants. Now, I could be wrong about some of this information that I have. You might want to check it out for yourself at the sites that I mentioned. But again, that's what it sounds like. And it also sounds like, from one of the areas that I found out, that it seems he only has rights on one character, copyrights on one character, and that's Hershey, And if that is the case, if he has full copyrights on her to the point that her character can no longer appear in the comics, then she'll fall right in the same category in a way of Ninjara, which means Ken could go to another comic book, like say Furlong, if it's still being published by Radio Comics, and say, here's my Hershey character, here's a story I wrote for her, can you please publish her. He could do that if she falls in that same category. But again, in my honest opinion, he may have the rights to her name and everything, but he probably doesn't have rights to the way fans know her in the book. So she could still be used, or maybe they might change her name. Who knows? But remember, there is a counter there. When he created her, her name was Hershey the Cat. When she got married to St. John in the book, Jeffrey St. John, she became Hershey St. John. Now, does he have the rights to that? Maybe to Hershey St. John, maybe. Who knows? But there's the counter right there. Hershey the Cat was originally created by him, but when she became Hershey St. John, that could have also been copyrighted by him, but it also could have became part of Archie Comics and Sega's property. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's all I'm going to say about this update. Again, I could be wrong in what I told you. Again, check out all the message boards that I mentioned, from the Mobius Forum to Fans United for SatAM to Ken Penders Forum to Bumble Kings to SaturdayMorningSonic.com, all those places. Sega.com with the cartoon comic section there. Check those all out and tell me what you think. But that's all I can say with this update, and I'll talk to you all later.